Taehyung, your aloof yet ridiculously attractive husband, had a personality as cold as the peak of Mount Everest. No matter how much you tried to melt his icy demeanor, he remained a mystery, responding to your efforts with nothing more than a rise brow or a dismissive grunt. Despite his cold attitude, you were deeply in love with him, perhaps because his fleeting moments of affection burned brighter than the sun. Living in his family's luxurious traditional house made things even more awkward, especially under the watchful eyes of his elegant but intimidating mother. She had always been polite to you, but never outright affectionate. Little did you know, fate had a hilarious twist in store for you, and it was about to unfold on the kitchen counter. It was an early Sunday morning, and you were in the kitchen preparing breakfast. Taehyung, as usual, sat at the dining table with his laptop, typing away as of the feet of towel deepened on it. His tousled black hair glistened in the soft sunlight streaming through the windows, and his white shirt hung loosely over his toned frame. Good morning, you greeted with a small smile, trying to engage him in conversation. Came his usual syllabic reply. You sighed inwardly. If love languages were a competition, Taehyung would win the gold medal for selective silence. You were mixing batter for pancakes when Taehyung's tea voice suddenly cut through the quiet. You missed the support, he said, pointing at a smudge of flour on your cheek. Huh? You looked up, confused. Before you could react, Ting was already standing in front of you. He reached out and wiped the floor of your face with a single deliberate stroke of his thumb. The touch of his fingers sent a jolt of electricity to your body. Your eyes looked with his far as a place sang. You saw something warm flicker in his gaze, something that made your heart to skip a beat. Young, you whispered. He leaned closer, his breath fanning your face, his lips curved into the faintest smirk. You are a mess, he murmured. Maybe it was the way his voice dipped lower, or maybe it was the sudden intimacy of the moment, but something inside you snapped. You grabbed his collar, pulling him closer until his lips pressed against yours. Ting didn't resist. In fact, his hand found their way to your waist, gripping you firmly as he would been waiting for this moment all along. His lips crashed onto yours with a passion you had not seen in months. Before you knew it, the kitchen counter became your battlefield. He lifted you effortlessly, placing you on the cool marble surface. The batter bowl wobbled precariously as your hands tangled in his hair, and his hand moved against you like he was claiming territory. Young, you gasped as it trailed your. What if he hushed you? His voice husky. No one's awake. But oh, how wrong he was. Did you see my. The sudden voice of his mother shattered the intimate moment like a glass topped on concrete. You froze, Taehyung froze. Time itself seemed to froze. Standing in the doorway was none other than Mrs. Kim. Her impeccably styled hair and pearl necklace looking starkly out of place in the chaotic scene before her. Her eyes widened in horror as they darted between you paused. On the counter, things standing dasher and the bowl of pancake batter now dripping onto the floor. Oh no, she shrieked, covering her mouth. What is going on here? You scrambled off the counter, your face spun with the Taehyung in his typical fashion remained calm. He straightened his shirt and looked at his mother with an expression that could only be described as mild irritation. Mother, he said coolly, you should know before entering. Nook, she exclaimed, her voice rising an octave. This is the kitchen, not your bedroom. What were You two thinking, you open your mouth to apologize, but no words came out. Your brain had officially short-circuited. Taehyung, however, seemed unfazed. He crossed his arms and looked at his mother with a raised brow. We were trying to make pancakes. On the counter? She sputtered. He shrugs. It's efficient. Mrs. Kim stormed out of the kitchen, muttering something about the dash holy water. Mayur and Tane stood in silence for a moment before bursting into laughter. I can't believe this just happened. You said, clutching your stomach. Tane smirked, his usual aloof demeanor slipping for a moment. Well, at least she didn't see the bar before that. You sweated his arm playfully. You are impossible. He leaned down, passing a soft kiss to your forehead, and they said, you love me. Later that evening, the family gathered for dinner. Mrs. Kim was unusually quiet. Her disapproving glances in your direction spoke volumes. So she began breaking the silence. Did you two enjoy your breakfast preparation this morning? The young didn't miss a beat. The pancakes turned out great. Thanks for asking. You nearly choked on your water, shooting him a panicked look. Mrs. Kim narrowed her eyes. I hope you both remember that this house has rules. Of course, they reply smoothly, but sometimes rule needs flexibility. You kicked him under the table, your face turning crimson. Over the next few days, Mrs. Kim avoided the kitchen altogether, much to your relief. Ting, however, found endless amusement in teasing you about the incident. Care for another round of efficient cooking? He would whisper, smirking. Every time you walked into the kitchen, despite the mortifying encounter, the incident brought you and Ting closer. His cold exterior began to thaw bit by bit, revealing a warmth that made your heart flutter. As for Mrs. Kim, she eventually forgave you, though she never looked at the kitchen counter the same way again. And so life continued with you and your cold husband, navigation love, laughter, and the occasional kitchen disaster. The end.